Come on. There we are. All right. Got back from the contest a little early today, but I was wiped out, and that heat just tore me up. I hope you guys enjoyed the 5 hours of nonstop streaming. But after eating dinner here, I decided that I would work on this. So let's work on our landing gear blocks. I've already showed you how to make these. What we're going to do here and I'm going to give you a little clue on these landing gear blocks that'll save you some headache. We have to drill holes for the screws. And you want the outboard screw to the back. And you'll see why here in a minute. So we'll put this one right here. Try to hold them close to the wire too. This one right here. I gotta make sure. Yeah. This one right here. I can't believe I don't have pens at work. It's unbelievable. Met one of the guys, can't remember the gentleman's name. I got his business card, I think, somewhere. That knows just how small this apartment is. He recognizes that I'm building in the closet. Let's see here. No, I've got it. Let's see. We're running this way, boy. I have made a mistake already, so I want this one on the outside here. And this one on the inside here, because we're going to have the block on there. Yep. So we want this one right here. Okay. Can you guys hear me all right? It looks like it. Looks like it's working. Now I like to have things uniform, so what I do here is I take these blocks and I set them back to back, and we get the holes going. Make sure that's going to work. It looks like it. So this is inboard. Yeah, this is inboard. This is outboard. Now I got to find a drill. I guess the first thing to do would be to clamp this puppy down. This ain't gonna work. We got one watcher. I guess you guys got burnt out from the 4-hour video stream of the contest today. A lot of fun. lot of fun. Okay. All right. So now let's get the drill, which I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, there's the impact. I don't have a battery on it though. Yeah. This is my fourth drill I've been through since I've been here. Work just tears them up. I got a saw here, one battery. Now we got two batteries. Hopefully, one of these batteries has got a charge. Well, that thing sounds shot. I had a red drill too. What happened to it? Oh, there's one. Let's try that one. We got to get these drilled out for the blind nuts. So we'll start off with a 3/32. I don't know this. I haven't charged this in a while. I don't know where the charger is, so I don't know if this is going to make it, but we'll try. And we got that part done. So now we need the next size up from 1/8 inch. That's to not crush. Come on, get out of there. Use this one. 1 and 1. Did you guys like the contest video? Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Oh, I can't believe I have no place to set anything down. So difficult to work here. All right, that worked. Okay, so now let's see if the blind nuts will go in the back there, and if not, we got to drill the back side. Oh, shit. Okay. Hey, James. Yes, what? Yes, you can hear me. Yes, you like the contest. Okay. God, I hope I got that right. Usually I screw these up and have to plug them, re-drill them, but I got it. But I got it good. Okay. So now we'll take a hammer, tap those in there like so. All right. Now I need two long 440s. They serve two purposes. They keep the hole clean from the epoxy, and they allow you something to hold on to while you set the thing in place. And don't drop this box. Drop this box, it's a disaster. Let's see here. Put these back. Sorry about the end, but the phone got overheated and it ran that down to 12% charge. So it's a safety precaution on the phone. I had it on a battery too, but whatever. Inboard. And this is in. Outboard, and this is in. Now, I have to make up a torsion box. This is out. Oh crap. Every time. Every time. Damn. Okay, so what I need to do here, I just tap these back out. This is in. No, that's right. Okay, that's correct. Lucked out. I didn't fly too bad for only having about 10 flights or 11 flights for the year, I guess. gonna go down. We're gonna go to Detroit. And I'll stream that from Detroit. And the following week is FCM. And then there's a couple of weeks off, I think, and then it's Cleveland. All right, we need some torsion boxes. I'd really like this to fit in there easier. All this hand fitting stuff. That's better. That's exactly why you gotta epoxy them on there. I just pushed that out of there. So let's get that going on before I screw that up. One thing at a time. Come on, get up there. Now, I suppose you could use CA, but I don't advise it. So let's look at this one, make sure it's down. Yep, they're still down. So you want to put the screws all the way till they're just, you're protecting the threads. You want to keep it flush, the screws flush. And then we're going to mix up some epoxy. Get this crap out of the way. So mix up some epoxy. I need to find that 1/2 inch square material, which is right here. Okay. I wish I had a disc sander here, but I don't, so I guess I'll have to use that little saw. I want to put a curve on this, and I'm going to put this in there until it just touches the sheeting. Then I'm going to mark that off and saw it off, and that gets glued to this piece in this direction here. There's quite a bit to all this business. Okay. I had to turn the air back down. It's getting hot in here, stuffy. Put the drill bit back so I can find it. I want to thank everybody for the super chats today. If I missed you, I wasn't by the camera all day. I think it was one $9.99 super chat that I missed recognized, and I apologize, but I can't be everywhere at once. I think it was Rico, but I don't remember. You have to go look at the screen, but I appreciate it. Trust me. Because all this stuff comes out of my pocket up front. And we'll need about $150 for Detroit. So, what a racket. What a racket. Okay, I need something to mix some epoxy on. Piece of scrap. Oh, this is too light to count as scrap. Here we go. We'll use this. Well, this project didn't go as quick as I thought it would. This is the 17th video in the series, meaning that there's probably gonna be 25 hours on this wing already. I didn't think it took me that long, because normally when I'm in St. Louis or whatever, I start on this a project and I stay right on it and go right through it, and didn't realize how much time I really had in it. But I've got 17 videos up on this wing so far, and I know that I have more than 17 hours in it, because there's some hours or time that I didn't show you. All right, you want to encapsulate these blind nuts so they don't fall off inside the wing. Very important. I'm gonna let that dry up and take the bolts out, clean up the threads. You can put some Vaseline on it or some 3-in-1 oil in the threads or whatever, but really don't have a need. I got a tap if they get clogged. Okay, so let's see what this has to say over here. I'm a rookie builder. Even I had 20 planes myself. I have learned so much more about building than I had known before. Thank you for educating. Don, you're more than welcome. That is the purpose of these videos, is to make your airplanes more competitive. I want to see everybody's airplane at the field, 17, 18, 19 points. That's, and I have seen, since I started doing these videos, I have seen quite a few of my techniques implemented. So that helps. I mean, let's get that off of there, so we can use it again to mix on. Well, I didn't win the contest today. I was second place, but for as many flights as I have for the year, I can't complain. Back when I was really dedicated, I was pretty decent, but anymore, just a hack flyer. Starting to kick off now. So I'll put this over here and use it again when I glue them big sticks on. Ran out of lunch bags, had to use a lunch sack, so I had to use a bread bag for tomorrow's lunch. I think it's going to get really tough here pretty shortly. All right, so all right, now I need to, where'd that piece go? Here's the half by half. Now this is kind of overkill, but on this model I want to use it half by half. This is the torque box. Let's, I don't want to do that, so in order to get the arc of the wing, I'm just going to set this in here in the fuselage about where I think it goes, which is about right here. Once I do one, I can copy it off the other one. So I want to cut the end of that stick off to that line. Let's see what he says over here. Well, 68, we're close to the same age, you know, you can do it. I've been doing it all my life, though. I mean, I don't fly too bad, I guess. Yeah. All right, let's try this. Take the guard off. Kids, don't do what I do. Do as I say. This thing will hurt you bad. Now, here's a secret that I'm going to teach you or show you. It's kind of important if you want your... If you take this piece of hardwood and glue it in here like I'm going to glue it, so that it touches the sheeting on top, you'll see that from the other side. Why? Because it's dissimilar. So what we're going to do to fix that is we're going to glue a piece of balsa wood on the end. Just a scrap piece. You got to do that before you make the measurements, so we'll get that on there right now. I bet you didn't think of that. Yo, hot. Just like that. Damn. Now, because this here is softwood instead of hardwood, it won't show. So, let's see, we're going to mark it like this. And we're going to hold it back. Well, we'll sand it back. So well, I'll cut it and then we'll fix it here. Remember what I told you about this saw? Using a saw like this, never take your eyes off the blade while you're using it. That thing will hurt you. Here, let's see how it fits. I don't like it. It's got, for some reason it's up on that side, but it doesn't matter. And that will work. I'll take a little off of here, I guess. Let's see how's this going. Goes on like that. That's probably going to do it right there. Okay, we'll need to make one for the other side. So it's got that round shape on it. Glue on a piece of wood here. All these things, I'm sure you don't have to do them, but if you want a nicer model, see what happens is the sun gets at this stuff, and the dope is always shrinking. So if you have a hard spot there, it'll poke through. You know, this is, and I'm telling you these things after years of experience of building models and having them sit in the sun and then show these things that I should have thought of when I built them. One of the worst places is at the nose where the hardwood meets the balsa wood and the nose ring. There's like 4 different grain changes there. Hardwood, especially if you use carbon veil or whatever. So you got carbon veil, hardwood, plywood, and balsa. Well, you get it all done and you go, well, this looks really good. And it does look good at first. One season in the sun, and it sinks, and you can see that spot. Sometimes it didn't even take a season. go. So we got an inboard and we need an outboard. Oh, I got them ass backwards here, or do I? Yep. This one goes over here. And this one goes over here. Now you would think, well, we're going to glue this in first. No, no, that ain't how it works. So I need to mark this one and get it cut. Then I can set the saw on the floor. Okay. Check for fit. This side's better than the other side. Okay, now mix up a liberal amount of epoxy, lots of epoxy. Oh shoot, I haven't marked these yet. Well, as long as I don't mix it, it shouldn't kick off. Crap. Make sure you drive the epoxy out the other way. You don't want that flinging around in your wing. Clear out the hole. Come on. There we go. the epoxy on there is just to hold the blind nut in so it doesn't come off and fling around inside your wing. Because I've had to do surgery before for a stupid blind nut. So don't forget this step. You know what, the funny thing about these removable landing gear, it is a good system. But once the model's painted, I never take the landing gear off. I mean, maybe I've done it once or twice where I wanted to make a modification, make the landing gear longer so I could fly in grass or something. I've done that, but okay, so now you're going to mark where the rib location is. Put a line right there. Get this out of the way so I don't get it all over my shirt. And right there. So we're going to transfer this line down to the bottom. Oh boy. Okay, this one over here. Why is it not fitting down in there good? There, that's it. Except that it's going to be hard to get it in if it's that tight, so we'll take a little more off here. There we go. I don't like it. What the hell is going on there? When you're fitting this stuff, make sure it fits. That should work. Yep. Okay, so we need to mark it. It's gotta be perfect. That's what my dad used to say. So we'll hold that out a little bit. It's a whole lot easier to slide the other way. So we'll come out here about 64. Okay. Now the orientation of these blocks is real important too. So my suggestion is, okay, is to put it up here and mark them before you. You want to use epoxy on this. You don't want to use CA because CA is too brittle. I see why that doesn't sit down on there good. A little bit of epoxy in the way here. Cut that back. Dan, it was good to have you out there today. After 30 years off, you didn't look too bad. Just like riding a bike. Okay, we got that. That's good. Okay, so now that one goes here, like so. And this one here, somebody wrote something else here. Okay, it says, Scott Simpson. Hi, Donald. I'm 7 flights back into the hobby after being away for 40 years. I smashed my ringmaster last week, fixed now, trying to fly upside down. Back to loops and wing overs for me. I think it was you, Todd, that said today it's nice to come to a place and not talk about politics. Well, or our politics wouldn't mix or whatever. And that's fine. Agree to disagree. But it is nice to come talk about airplanes. It's okay, let's fingers crossed, see if this works. If not, I gotta start all over and do it again. Okay, what's this one? Let's see when we're broke. Okay. Epoxy this good because this is what holds your airplane together on the ground. This little post is what holds the landing gear on. Everybody thinks it's the screws. No, the screws don't do crap. They just hold the door on. That little post right there is what takes the abuse, the torsion rod, when your airplane lands. So let's wait for this to dry. Then we'll test fit them and sand and adjust and do whatever until they fit perfect. This has to touch the top sheeting, this has to touch the side of the rib, and then this has to lay flat on top of the ribs, and it all gets epoxied together. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact plus the shear box that goes on top of that. That goes in pretty easy and pretty fast. But this is something to take a little time, a little care to get right. I saw Rich Gackabone rip, and you would think Wendy knows about it, because Gackabone's airplanes were built at Wendy's place. He had his Strega at Brodax rip the landing gear right out because they're not paying attention to on this mounting procedure. Bell cranks, landing gear, lead outs. These things are really important. So you gotta pay attention. At least and motor mounts, you gotta pay attention in those areas, so that the motor mounts are glued to the wing, even on a built up airplane, because the vibration is transferred from the engine to the wing, and it helps level the harmonics, level everything out, and there's no stress on the fuselage, and it keeps the nose from cracking off, and there's just a lot of things that help. So while you're building these airplanes, just be aware of whatever you can do to make them stronger. And a monocoque design is, let me go back, the strongest thing in nature is the egg. And you go, well, what do you mean, the egg? I want you to take an egg on end and take it between two fingers and try to smash it. You can't do it. You could probably do it in a vise, but you'd be hard pressed to push down with your fingers and get it to break. And that's because everything is pushing against everything else. Everything is in compression all the way around at the same time. Well, that's what you're trying to do with these airplanes, is to make one piece help the next piece. That's why you've heard me say, if it ain't glued to something, you don't need it. So make sure it all is all glued to something. Okay, let's test fit it and see how it works. If it test fit good, we'll glue it in. If it doesn't, we'll sand and adjust. The route up on top of that epoxy right there. I need to cut that epoxy out. A lot of people didn't think I-beams were that strong, but they are, because the covering is 90% of the strength. And you say the covering, that's exactly right. The covering is what holds a I-beam airplane together. I'm going to have to get a Dremel tool to get that out of there. grind it with this, I suppose. Come on. Okay, I had on this nut here, I had some epoxy between this and the torsion box, and it was holding it up off the rib. You can feel it when it bottoms. Yeah, that one fits. Let's try this one. This has got a little bit of smuts on it too. This epoxy is not for structure. It's just for safety. And I have screwed that up. Damn, I glued that one on backwards. Man, you guys, maybe it'll go down in there, but I don't think so. I'll have to pull a rabbit, which is possible. Yeah, that's what's going on. There we go. Got them reversed. Man, I can't think anymore. That goes this way. And this one goes this way. Okay, let's mark these so I don't goof them up. This is forward. This is forward. I think I still screwed up, so I have to check it out. Yeah, close. I'm gonna cut that off. Yeah, I think it's too tall there. 9/16. Close. There we go. 9/16. Quarter. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, before you go too far, you got to drill your 1/8" hole there. I don't have a drill press, so I'm gonna have to do it by eye. Yeah, it won't be the first. Pretty good. I don't use a torsion bar that long, but what do you want there just in case? We're not going to have to touch because they flipped that one around. So. Okay, let's see what happens here. Almost put it in backwards again. Okay, that's it. Get that puppy glued in there before I really screw it up. Let's see how this one goes. Good evening, Mark. Let's see here. I don't really care for how this one fits in here. It never did fit quite right. So we're going to knock a few thousandths off this. Drill our hole. Shit, we've been on for an hour already. Time flies when you're doing nothing. I mean, having fun. By the time I get set up and get started working, it's time to quit. That's it. That's perfect. All we gotta do is hope it goes in there without any rigmarole. There it is. Okay. Should I glue them in tonight, or do you want to wait till tomorrow? It don't much matter. Let's see, 3/16. This one here is going to be a little. I have to do 3/8. Might be 5/16. 3/8 is too long. It's going to be quarter. It's going to be quarter. And this here will be quarter. That'll be quarter. Let's go ahead and put them in, I guess. I'll stay on a little bit. Let's see. Hey, Jim. Hello, Joanne. Yeah, not absolutely perfect, but not bad. Well, you had 4 hours to watch the contest today, so hopefully it was like being there, Jim. Of course, not really. I mean, it's not really like being there, but better than nothing. It's what I can do. I was watching that video stream, and it was pixelating. The reason why it's pixelating is my modem, my hotspot is 4G instead of 5G. I guess I'm going to have to invest in another. I wish to get with satellite and quit monkeying around. Let's turn it over. Get another stick. So we're going to do this. Hope I'm doing it right, Jim. The way I've always done it. Haven't had any problems yet. Okay, on the top of these ribs, you want to put quite a bit of epoxy. You know, about as thick as you can get it on top of them ribs. And on the side of this post here, you want to get quite a bit on there. That glues to the plywood rib. Okay. This is why landing gear weighs 3 ounces. You got all this hardwood and all this wire and nonsense. If you run any big wheel pants, they could weigh up to 4 ounces. Remember, you make a mistake here, you throw your airplane away. Hey, Gary, you got to start all over. So, fit, double check, fit, whatever it takes, make sure it's right. Now we just sit and wait for that to dry, and then I'll come back. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch, we're going to box this a 1/4 on the side, 1/16 front and rear. Or maybe we'll use 3/32 front and rear. And that locks the top of the box in. So not only do you have the floor epoxy to the plywood doubled ribs and that torsion box glued to the plywood rib, you have the 1/4 inch uprights on each end and then 3/16 on the other end. And then we got to make the door. This is a clean setup. This is the only way to do it. Back in the day, I guess this is Bob Hunt's idea. Back in the day, we used to J-bolt them on a plywood floor, and they were a permanent fixture. I mean, it worked, and it worked okay, but it sure makes it a whole heck of a lot easier painting the airplane with the landing gear off. And then, like I say, then again, if you want to change the landing gear length, you can just take them out, bend up a new set, boom, put them in for grass or pavement or whatever. So that's a cool feature. So it's a little bit of a pain, but it's not bad. So we'll get some 1/4 inch here, and we'll start making up these doors. Now, this is like 1/4 cut balsa here, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to use much of it. You want some strength there anyway. You're going to stick it in like so it ends up end grain. Do this end here. And doing this, it doesn't have to be too precise. You just want it, square so that it fits down in there. It's going to be sticking up. You're going to sand it off anyway, so. So you can't see what I'm doing. I need a cameraman. If the Almov boys lived close to me, they'd be over here, we'd be building, they could be filming. Them guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with, I'll tell you that right now. We don't need this anymore. Hopefully I got it the right length. So let's cut off a couple of pieces and see what happens. So we need about 5/8. We'll make it that much. Like I say, this is hard wood. Quarter saw. Come on, get in there. I'll finish one of these and then we'll call it a night. Been on for an hour and 20 minutes now. That's better. Just take some thin set CA. Of course, the bottle's plugged as always. If it ain't plugged now, it'll probably come out like Niagara Falls. Yeah. Trying to get that in there square. Wasn't paying attention. get some of that Teflon tube on there. Okay, so now we need hey Jim, I got something to show you. It was pretty good what you told me about fractions, but I don't know what happened to my damn phone. No, there it is. But there's an app for that. Clear. If you want to, let's say you got a 10 inches or 9 inches, 9 and 3/8, 3/8, and you want to add it or divide. Let's see, you want to do. Oh shoot, what happened here? Backspace 9 and 3/8. Clear. Shoot. 9 and 3/8. You want to divide that by 2. That equals 4 and 11/16. And you want to times that times or add. We'll add 3 and 3/4. 3 and 3/4. That equals 8 and 7/16. This app is great. I don't know, you can see it. There it is. The light's better. So the trick you taught me was good, but I couldn't help resist but get that app. You don't even have to think now. Just punch in the numbers and out it comes. Okay, so we need a piece of 3/32. Let's see here, we'll use this. The world is becoming a bunch of retards because of all this app stuff. We got 9/16. So we'll roll this out. We'll make it 5/8. That way we have something to sand to. Shoot. That smells like hardwood, this stuff. Back when I went to school, they didn't have calculators. We had slide rules. And when I was younger, I could work one of them pretty good. Now I can't even remember how to use it. Probably come back if I started using it again, but what's the sense when you got a phone that'll give you the right answer? That's what the world's come to. The electricity goes down. The little picture of the hamburger is not on the register. You're in trouble at McDonald's. Okay. Now I'm just eyeballing this at 90 degrees. You see how that's not at 90, but I got the mark there, and I'll cut it at 90 or relatively close, and then a couple swips of the sandpaper till it's hand fit and it fits perfect. So you've been on. We're gonna cut it off at an hour and a half, I guess. Yeah, it's called Fractions Plus. That's thanks to Dan Winship. He said, "Well, why do I need that when I got this app?" But I don't know. There you have it. That's one landing gear box done. And when we come back on the next go around, I'll show you how to, well, I'll have that done. I'll explain it to you right now how to get this sanded flush. You take masking tape, you tape all around this, take a sanding block, you sand that flush. Then we're going to make a plug that goes in there with a plywood door, and you sand that flush. And what happens when you use the masking tape, it'll leave it proud, probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 thousandths. And that's not a problem. Then you come back with some fine grit sandpaper and take the tape off and finish it all off, and you're done. I use brass tubes to cut the holes for the screws, so that makes a nice clean hole. You can go ahead and use aluminum tubing or carbon fiber tubing to line that. I don't do that because it's just more weight. So if you cut a real nice hole and you wick it with thin CA and harden it up, it'll be fine. You know, there's a ton of things that I'd like to do that will make the model more outstanding. You know, plywood line, 64th plywood line all these boxes, but man, you're talking about a lot of weight. And if you're looking to build a light mount, you got to leave stuff off. So I forego the aluminum tubes. I forego the plywood liners. Just use CA and sand it straight and tissue it. It'll look just fine. Well, we've been on 1 hour and a half tonight, and I did 5 hours of video at the contest. I believe that 6.5 hours of my time today is more than I can handle. So I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate all the support. It's the super chats. Even got one in live super chat. We're going to Detroit next weekend. We will be streaming. It's the same deal. It's real expensive to do that. I'm going to see if I can get a 5G modem so that it doesn't pixelate anymore. And I just got to upgrade my equipment. And in order to do that, hey, everybody chip in. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night after work. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.